All right, here we are. It's a little bit after 8. This is the earliest we've ever, or closest to on time we've ever started. Yeah, so I'm still putting my deck together, so I'm going to make a ton of small talk with Guillaume and Nathan here. It's Nathan and I on tonight for a season 4 playtest. And I am madly putting this together, and we were talking about strategy. Nathan, yours is going to be all season 4.
All season 4, except for some of the agents. Yeah, I've got. I'm going to roll out the same team as last time, so it's Colton Henderson and Hosteen are my non-season 4, and then Munch and Hudek are my 2 season 4 agents.
You know, I always have the utmost respect for a player that has 5 agents on his team. My math skills aren't as strong, I don't think.
There could be 6 in the future. Actually, I think one of the playtest ones I did had 6.
6?
Yeah. Because there was a Kresge, Nemhauser, and Patterson, I think, were 3 of them.
Oh, and they're all 1 or 2, right?
Right. Well, Patterson, I think, is 4, but. I'll do a little spoiler alert from the eBay box I bought.
Oh yeah.
I think we can play some sealed deck.
What do you mean?
Well, so on the photo they showed just some boxes. I figured they were all open. Actually, 5 of the 6 were sealed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So be up for some sealed decks sometime.
And so with those, you said that you had some surprises in the card. So were they good surprises, like things you weren't expecting?
Well, my expectations were pretty low. So like I expected just a bunch of commons, uncommons, really. But yeah, there were good surprises. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But actually, I was pretty excited to get the sealed decks just because my only sealed decks are that unopened box of the true starters. So this I feel a little less bad about cracking open.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a little bonus. Can you get ultra rares in the starter decks of the Premier Edition?
I don't think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think ultra rares are only in the booster packs.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that.
Oh, Stephen is here.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey, gentlemen. I'm going to speak at a fairly low volume for at least a little bit. I don't think she's quite asleep yet. So don't mind if I'm not talking very loud. Just plugging in everything.
So David is still sleeving up his deck, so
that's all right. If we're live, then that way, people aren't waiting, so we can, just regale them with whatever X-Files CCG news has, come up in the last few days. I've got a story for you guys that Guillaume has already heard, but last night I played a game with a fellow member of the Facebook group who was, previously, an agent for, the game back in the Gen Con days of '97. And this time he played with his one of his tournament legit tournament decks designed specifically for tournament use, and he destroyed me in one round and won the game. Round 2. Round 1, I got one question, and then round 2, he won. It was insane. I've never seen a deck that efficient before, and I was like, I had to applaud him. I was like, dude, I can't even be upset about that because I never even knew the deck could be that efficient. And
So is he investigating multiple sites a turn?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. But then also it was a combination of like what he did with his team and the way he divvied up his agents to the sites and made it so that there was nothing I could do to fend off, that many site investigations. So it was crazy, and it was also a combination of the fact that the cards that came up, the specific sites that came up at that point were, it was a stroke of luck on that part. So it made it even more difficult for me to fend off those particular investigations, and so I was very impressed after I was done, absorbing the fact that I lost that game in round 2. I was like, wow, that was amazing.
So how many sites did you say he played? 3 or 4?
Sorry,
How many sites did you play at the same time?
4 sites. Went and had an agent at all 4 of them.
Just one?
One agent for 4, for each site. And each agent was capable of investigating said site solo, and that was what was even more impressive about it. So I was like, I can't stop 4 site investigations. I don't have enough cards. I don't have enough CP for that. So I was legit impressed. I didn't record it because, as you guys know, I'm down to only a handful of recording hours on StreamYard. So I wish I recorded that. If I'd known it was going to be like a 10-minute game, I would have gladly recorded that, and so you guys could be marveling at that. I didn't think it was going to be over that quickly.
I think as you good in maybe in a tournament, but for what we like to do, even playing for fun, it's just it's not a good strategy. You only need agents and sites and maybe equipment to sell if it lasts for a few more rounds. But you don't need any adversaries, witnesses. You don't need any of that. Even events, even. So.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. He never played a single conspiracy card in that short game. Didn't need to.
I think it can be the purpose of the game, though, even in a tournament.
Yeah, definitely in a tournament. I would not want to play that regularly because I wouldn't find the game very enjoyable and wouldn't make me want to keep coming back because you don't have the joy of seeing the cards work much in the same way an episode of the X-Files flows, and you don't get to see a lot of the different combinations and amazing way that the cards interact to form events that mirror the episodes themselves, and you get that more so with a game that goes back and forth a few rounds. And plus, yes, who doesn't like the joy or the sense of reward that comes from a hard-fought victory? And so, yeah, granted, maybe if I was taking part in a tournament, I would definitely be inclined to have a deck like that, if depending on the stakes. But then again, it's I'm more inclined towards friendly games where it's just yes, winning is great, but also getting to see how the cards work together is part of the fun as well. So it was a very educational game that I played, albeit very short one. Yeah, it gave me a lot of insight that I to the what kind of tournament style decks people were working with back when the game was actually still around. I was like, wow, this is what you can expect from those sort of tournaments. And yeah, granted, it's cutthroat and kind of exhilarating. And of course, if there's some pretty impressive stakes, then it makes it so. Yeah, I would want to get on that action, but not on a day-to-day. Not when I'm playing against you guys. I would want to incorporate that sort of strategy. Yes, I like the idea. I like to win, but I don't like to win that much. I want to. I want to give you guys a chance to, play your cards and play your sites and ask your questions, but back and forth, and just see how see what because combinations, because we haven't seen every combination of the cards, even if they're just commercially released ones, and the more we play, the more those come up.
And maybe the way people were playing back in the day, that's also why there was a loss of interest in the game, because people did not get to explore every possibility. I mean, after a while, if you only play sites and agents, I mean, the game can get boring really fast.
Yeah, not taking advantage of the combat cards, not taking advantage of the witnesses and all the stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're not getting to really experience the game in its fullest.
I think if you were to put a tournament or something like that together, maybe one of the rules could be that you have to play at least one of each card, or at least you need to play at least one witness. You need to prevent those kind of speed decks.
Not bad, yeah. And Guillaume, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm getting a bit of warbling feedback from you, so I was having a hard time getting all that you were saying just then.
Let me check the sound. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, a little low, but much better. Oh, now I'm getting an echo, which is weird because I'm only using the one device.
Yeah, me too. I'm only using my laptop, so that should be fine.
It's
but
weird. I mean, you guys don't hear the echo, right?
I hear it.
I was like, I'm not using any other device. It's like, how is this echoing? Well, I think it's gone now. Is that, yeah? Test?
Yeah.
Okay, your turn, Guillaume.
Okay, testing. Better?
Yep. Perfect. Okay, so what were you saying? What sort of stipulations would we have in place?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, you need to at least, in order to win, you not only have to successfully guess the identity of the X-File, but also you need to have, I don't know, played at least one witness or one equipment, or, a few cards.
Conditions,
just to show that in addition to winning the game, you also had a strategy in play, and it was not just a speed deck, but, or as I mentioned, sometimes I think the only downside to the game is that you can ask maybe 5 questions and only get no answers, and your opponent just asks one question, he gets a yes, and he's caught up to you. And so maybe it should also be that you need to successfully at least investigate 5 sites in order to win the game, so that even if you only get yes answers, the game continues and your opponents get a chance to catch up with you if they were not as lucky in their guesses.
Then again,
ideas too.
Yeah. There maybe maybe you have to at least attempt to investigate 5 rounds or something, because in that game that you and I played with the sealed deck, just by pure luck of my questions, I managed to do so in 3 successful site investigations. But granted, there were a few where as I'm going back and recording this, oh, you thwarted me with conundrum or car troubles and stuff like that, and so it took quite a few rounds to get there. But and it still felt like the sense that you earned that victory through time and many investigations, but not knocking the strategy. It's definitely effective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to employ it on any given game. There has to be some stakes involved, and it'd have to be some pretty serious ones for me to even be like, yeah, that's cool and all, but not knocking it. Dave, if you're watching, it's not knocking it. It's a wonderful strategy, and I love it. But for non-tournament games, I don't feel inclined to. But
it kind of defeats the purpose of all the extensions that we are creating then.
Absolutely. Granted, you can we
can
also make cards.
Can use the sites,
and we can also come up with cards too. Dax, I was telling Dax about it today, and he said, oh yeah, there's actually a card in the Fight the Future expansion that actually works to thwart that sort of situation where you're having someone go to like 3-4 sites in one round. I was like, oh, good, because if there wasn't an existing card like that, then I would be writing one. So,
No, I have one in season 7. Like,
oh, you do?
if
Very
your
good.
opponent plays more than one site, you
Mhm.
actually get to say, okay, you only have to investigate this one.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Is a good idea. So it's like, that would be probably David's least favorite card if he were still using his travel deck. That's like the anti-travel deck card right there. I would be like, you have like 2 Assassinateds and 2 Pete Calcagnis in your deck. I'll be like coming in with 2 of whatever that card is titled from Guillaume's set. How do you like that, David?
Couple
Yeah,
Pete
go after my
Calcagnis,
witness
couple
resources like that.
Assassinated,
What's that, David? I didn't hear that.
couple Pete Calcagnis, couple Assassinated.
Yeah. But you're not playing against me tonight, so hopefully Pete Calcagni has the night off, and maybe he's getting a beer with some of the other satanic worshippers on the PTC, as they're called. No need for them tonight. Granted, this is season 4, and season 4 is rife with witness resource cards, which you wouldn't expect anything less from an expansion that I put together to be lacking in the resource keyword. No, sir. I love me resource cards.
All right. I think maybe, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I think maybe the echo might have been me and my setup here. So I've just been tinkering, and hopefully that fixes it.
And if anyone is watching, I don't know, David, if we have anyone watching, but yeah, feel free to leave some comments. And, if there's something you want us to discuss, if you have questions about the season 4 expansion, or if you want to see if maybe we'll drop some tidbits about what we're working on post season 4, and maybe we'll, throw you a little bone.
We do have one viewer right now.
Excellent. Yeah, because we are, as we're getting set up. Yeah, and I do, I'm sure you guys are eager to get the game going, but at the same time, we welcome, questions, comments, and any insight you want to offer us, and ideas. Yeah, feel free to throw them out there. This is an open forum.
I'm going to duck out for just a few seconds. I'm home alone tonight, so I've got puppy patrol. I'll be right back.
And if you can't hear, I'm on
Yeah,
cat. Yeah, and he's trying to jump up on me, but he's unfortunately not little like your cat, Guillaume.
Also, I had a few questions, maybe while we are waiting for the game to begin. During my previous game with Nathan, I had Marita's agent card, and I also had Marita's overture in my deck, but I wasn't able to play it because when Marita's overture came up, I had already discarded Marita's agent card because I needed to at some point during the game. And so my question was, on Marita's overture, it just says, look through your bureau deck. And I was wondering if we could maybe increase the cost of that card by 1 and also say, or your discard pile, to make sure that card is really useful in every situation. So it was just a thought because it came up during that game. So I don't know if it would be a good possibility or not.
Yeah, I'm open to it. I don't know if we necessarily need to increase the cost just to make it so that you can, dig into the discard pile. Because if anything, it's like I want to make that that effect accessible. So I can do that. And plus, I know I think it's currently a
Purple card, and
it's a purple card. And again, that was kind of like I believe, even though it was a while ago that card was put together. I think that was again just an effort to make that effect as accessible as possible. Like, and I know there's not too many instances in which an opponent let me go back, like when an opponent's card is being removed from the game. I know that doesn't, like, from the conspiracy player, that is, but that's not to say that as we write future expansions, there may not be more instances in which an investigating player plays a card that removes a conspiracy player's card from the game. That happens with like currently Clyde Brookman agent card. That happens there, and that might be the only instance that, at least that I can think of. But not to say that there might not be more. And because Marita, is in bed with the conspirators while at the same time serving as Mulder's informant, that also sort of informed the decision to make it a purple card because yes, he's working both sides. But I'm certainly open to like just making it return to being just an RP card because yes, RP agent. Again, I'm open to thoughts, commentaries on that card. But I do like the idea of making discard pile if we have to. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
It was just because I think it's unlikely that you get to play that card, and during that game I could have played her, but she was already discarded. So
yeah. I mean, a lot of the card.
What a shame.
I want to see that. That was one of those wish list ones from an earlier wish list. There are a lot of cards from like the commercially released card sets that dictate a specific deck, like Hidden Grave, your opponent's discard pile, Grid Pattern Search, Street Contacts. All of them, they limit it to a specific deck. Yours or your opponent's, but that's not to say we can't branch out a bit more, especially if we're trying to make an effect a bit more accessible, or to make the card more desirable, because that's one of those cards that yes, it's a bit situational, so I'm open to trying to expand its possibility of taking place. So yeah, I've got a long list of like, because the last 2 games we've played where we found some stuff, I have not sent those to Dax, partly he's been on vacation, and so I'm not bothering him with stuff like that right now, and he's got the last 4 equipment cards to do, so I was like, let him finish up those 4 equipment cards and then maybe the promos, and then I'm like, okay, I've got a long list of things we need to correct, and so then those, and again, those are all from the last couple of play tests, but I've got them written down, and so I'll post those in the Discord group for you guys to review once we get those.
Sounds good. I think, David, are you ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready to go. Are you ready? Got your lucky
Do it.
hat? All right. Well, let's make it official for our one live viewer.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. This is another round of playtesting for season 4, the unofficial expansion authored by Stephen, our esteemed judge you see there in the middle of the Brady Bunch squares.
We'll call him lead designer, Stephen.
Yeah.
I plan to do when we release this, a design notes thing where we give credits for playtesting and all that stuff. So
everyone here deserves some credit for that, for sure. And let's not forget Dax, because yes, he may not be part of these playtests, but he is obviously instrumental, to this expansion. This expansion wouldn't be a possibility. We wouldn't be here, if he wasn't, able to put these cards together for us. So yeah, a lot of credit due.
Right on. Well,
for sure. Thank you, Dax.
Thank you, Dax. That having been said, we're going to get started. And if you have not watched any previous episode, my background just doesn't work very well.
The mirror, it just keeps coming in and out.
We are season 4 playtesting. We're getting toward the end here, so the decks may not be as strategically sound as we would like, but we got to get these cards on the table, test them out, see how things play out. That having been said, you'll see a mixture of cards. Now, the cards we'll be playing tonight can be either from Premier, the Truth is Out There, the Mulder expansion, any promos, gen cards, and ladies and gentlemen, even killer cards are in there. There are season 4 killer cards, and we got to stretch their legs and make sure that they work. I'm more than happy to add a few of those into my deck because I think that's a fun thing to try out.
Are we counting this as a killer game?
This is a killer game.
Sounds like it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's kill some agents.
As we're playing, you'll see a mixture of commercially available cards, and you'll also see Season 4 playtesting cards, which are either printed on white or yellow. Those are Season 4 cards with just the bare bones basics on them to save ink, and we can take notes and make changes as we play along on just white paper. So you'll see a mix there. Gentlemen, did I forget anything?
I don't believe so. I mean, of course, once you knock Guillaume and I out of the frame, you'll introduce your team, which I'm always curious to see what agents you guys, or what combinations of agents you guys came up with.
All right. Well,
I can always see the regular. I can easily see the commercially released agents you chose, but yeah, my eyes are not strong enough to see the playtest cards.
No,
I think it'll expand when we kick you guys to the
I
backstage,
might be able to
right?
do
Okay.
that. Even then, I might be like squinting.
I think I see Detective John Munch on at least one table.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like using Detective John Munch? So, and if I don't know, maybe if anyone's wondering, it's like, why is John Munch part of the Season 4 expansion? The logic in that is because there are so many agent possibilities in the Season 5 expansion. I mean, I believe if I'm not mistaken, I think we have currently about 12 agents.
Oh, it might be more. There are a lot.
It might be more, exactly.
And I keep adding to it.
You do. So the fact that we have so many agents for Season 5, and you watch the episodes in Season 4, and you see like there's really not as many possibilities for agent cards coming out of Season 4. Interesting enough, even though there's more episodes in Season 4 than there is in Season 5, we just have way more agents available to us for Season 5 that, I was like, okay, why don't we just move like one of these guys over to Season 4? So at least, because otherwise I'm coming in Season 4 with about 5 agents, and that just it felt insufficient for the size of the expansion, and I wanted there to be some more possibilities and range. Like, you have like a 6 RP agent, and you even have like and some 3 RP agents, so some possibilities to work with. So that was the decision. I actually had like 1 or 2 other agents plan, like I was going to have more from 5 come in, but I thought, let's just do 1 for now and then just kind of see what happens. But yeah, so that's why John Munch is part of Season 5 or Season 4's expansion as opposed to Season 5. But as you note from like previous expansions, 1013 and even the Scully set cards, there are cards, even though those cards are primarily set within a particular season, there are certain cards that feature events from episodes outside of their primary season. So it's not without precedent.
So you're giving away all the great stories before our release party.
Yep, just a little. Well, there's some of these cards that like the agent cards have been up on the Facebook group, since the beginning. Those are the first ones that I showcase. So it's like no big mystery or anything like that.
We got to save some interview questions.
We've given them a pretty good field test here, I think, all of them.
Yeah. I would say I'm fairly confident. I don't think beyond now that we finally got Hudex effect resolved. I mean, I can't imagine we'll be making any more changes to the agent cards. I'd be surprised, but then again, I'm not ruling out that possibility. We got this playtest tonight, playtest 12. We're going to do one more, playtest 13, in which I'm planning to be one of the players in that. So, again,
nice.
Not saying that, anything is completely finalized, but, there's...
And then I plan on, and I don't know if any of you do as well, but I plan on sitting down and, like, proofreading the whole set, the whole thing before we finalize this.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem there. I mean, I'm glad. Yeah, if everyone wants to, take an opportunity and do the same thing, the more eyes pouring over these cards, the better.
All right. That having been said, we're going to get this game started. As per the usual, Stephen and Guillaume, we're going to send you back to the green room. Any questions, clarifications, anything you need to add in there, just give a big hand wave. I promise I'll be keeping an eye on it. Gentlemen, without further ado.
All right. Have a good game, guys. Good luck.
Bye, Guillaume. Bye, Stephen.
All right. Whew. It's get this party started. Unless you want to concede, we'll do the old coin flip.
Sure.
Okay. Heads, tails. Call it in the air.
Watch this. Tails.
Oh, it's heads, but you know what? I
The
want
one
to
time I
see.
switch it up.
I want to see your opening moves, so I'm going to let you go first.
All right. So I'll just quickly, my team, I introduced him before, but I've got Adrian Henderson, the promo. I've got Holstein and Colton from our 2 premier agents. Then our season 4 set, we've got Munch and Hudak. So this is the same team that I trotted out there last playtest. If you want a detailed breakdown, you can go check that out. I'll spare us all tonight. So that's it.
Well, everyone who's watching this are loyal viewers, so
I think so,
I'm sure
too.
they're familiar with it. My team is always new every week. This week is Detective Manners, Lieutenant Brian Tillman, and Clyde Bruckman for my commercially released ones, and then Detective John Munch rounds it out there for me. If for any reason, just so I can use his quote.
Yep, for sure.
All
And you'll
right.
hear it, I'm sure, later in this game from one of us. So you're going second, David? Is that what you said?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me get my things in order here. All right, so I'm going to draw 1 for the turn. I'm going to generate res. This is going to be 1 from Henderson, Hosteen, Munch, and Hudak, and 2 from Colton for a total of 6. It'll put me up at 11. And your turn to buy and sell.
All right. I'm going to sell. Oh, I'm going to regret that one. A grid pattern search for 2 and search warrant for 2 for a total of 4. And then I'm going to buy I'm going to buy 3. And I'll turn it back to you.
All right. Let's see. So no healing. We're going to go into the requisition phase. I'm going to use Hosteen's token on you right off the bat. So Hosteen's token allows me to look at his hand. I get to select a conspiracy card from it. And if David plays that particular card, I get to ask him a X-Files characteristic question.
All right, well, let's get right to it. Beg your pardon. Not used to playing on a Friday night on a work night. I see the yawning of adversary Scott Ostelhoff. This card is free if the site's prerequisite is alien investigation. Any witnesses contributing to the site skill check are discarded, and this adversary can use martial arts and subterfuge.
What are his activators, David?
Conspiracy and affiliation.
Okay.
Next, another adversary, Scott Garrett. Activators are conspiracy and alien investigation. This adversary can attack one agent of my choice and is then discarded. If Agent Pendrell is in the investigating team, then he takes the LRC damage instead of the selected agent. Agents attacked by this adversary must discard any attached keyword alien equipment immediately. So I'll use that if you're packing the alien stiletto, I guess.
As I've been known to do on occasion.
It's happened. Next is a bluff injured relative Force one opposing agent of my choice to go to the hospital immediately, undamaged.
How much does that cost?
5. It's a pricey one. Next, dark forces align. Activators are just conspiracy. You may have seen this one. Play on an opponent team in any section for the rest of the turn. That team is considered to have a single characteristic site keyword. For example, a result site. You may choose any one characteristic for the keyword. Next is hard evidence. Add 5 tokens to your res pool. Next is dodge. Play this card on any combatant in a long-range combat round to reduce the damage from any one source by 4 points. The combatant uses this card, does not deal damage in the LRC round. Next is witness Lieutenant Terry Wilmer.
Oh ho ho! Alien bounty hunter fodder there.
Maybe I just haven't seen him played. Adds 1 to a team's alien investigation skill check once during your turn. You may discard this resource during your opponent's turn to play the alien bounty hunter adversary at no cost, activator requirements permitting. And the last one in my hand is Dr. Daniel Trepkos. Negates 1 primordial creature.
All right, I think we are going to. What are Osselhoff's and Garrett's costs?
Ostelhoff is 7 and Garrett is 3.
Goodness. Does injured relative cause damage or just send them to the hospital? It's just
Just
send them to
hospital undamaged.
Okay. Well, you got some good conspiracy cards there.
Indeed.
It's actually tough. I think we're going to tag Osselhoff, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So if Osselhoff gets played, I get to ask a characteristic question. So we're still in the requisition phase. I'm going to pay 4, 2, 3, 4 to give John Munch an Apollo 11 keychain.
Mm.
So that's going to add 1 to his res value. And that is a bureau activator, yeah. And then we're going to go to deployment. I'm going to send all of my agents to the field. And case assignment, I'll pay, let's see. I'll use Colton's token and hold on. Yeah, I'll use Colton's token and pay. It only costs 1. I'll play Payson, South Carolina. It's a bureaucracy or observation 5+ and affiliation or method question.
Okay. I have just 1 bluff.
Okay. And let's see the injured relative.
You don't want to pay anything to see it? It's a true bluff. I was hoping I could smoke out a Langley or something.
Okay. Well, this is all season 4.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
Yeah. So there's no Langley here.
That's
I wish.
okay. My strategy is still intact.
So it's going to be an observation skill check. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Got nothing to stop you. Go right ahead.
All right. Just start at the top. Is your affiliation alien?
It is not.
Thank God, because those little green guys, they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, they're creepy.
All right. So case in South Carolina is done. I have 6 cards in hand. End of
I
turn.
have 7, so no discard.
Sounds good.
With that being said, I will begin my turn. Draw 1 per turn. Generate res. I've got 0 there. Thanks a lot. 1, 1, and 1. 3.
Who gave you 0?
My buddy Detective Manners.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
And before I move on, I am going to play Hard Evidence for 2. Add 5 tokens to your pool. So that means 3. I'm going to buy 3. And I'll turn to you for selling and buying.
So I have a question. I believe a bluff card has to be played either face down or you can play it face up during the investigation phase, right?
That's my understanding.
You can
Yeah,
only play it during those times,
that's also my understanding.
right?
And our judges are giving thumbs up and nodding
Okay.
their head yes.
Very good. Okay, so my turn to buy and sell?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to sell my epoxy vat for 4. And we'll go up to 9 there. And I will pay 1 to draw 1.
All done.
Yeah, and then I'm going to play an event. I'm going to go down -5 to play Desk Jockey. And I'm going to Desk Jockey. Let's see who you got there. Tillman.
Banners, Tillman, Clyde Bruckman, and Detective Munch.
Munch is a pretty well-rounded individual, and I think he's going to have to. Well, can you just read me Clyde Bruckman's skills?
Criminal investigation 2, evidence collection 4, observation 3, occult investigation 3, LRC is 1, CRC is 1, and health is 3.
He's pretty well-rounded too. Yeah, we'll keep Munch in the bureau.
Okay. And how is it that I get him out?
So
skill
you
check.
have to complete a criminal investigation or occult investigation site.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, then I will move to healing, and there's no healing to be done. I move to deployment. Detective Munch will stay in the bureau per his new assignment as a desk jockey, and I'll move my other three, Tillman, Manners, and Bruckman, to the field. Next is case assignment. We're going to go to Broad Street, Philadelphia. That is a criminal investigation
No.
and a method question.
I'm pretty sure you did not have that site when I looked with hosting.
I've drawn a few cards. Since
Yeah. Dang. This was all planned out so well.
Oh,
right,
and that site costs 2, so I'll take 2.
All right. I don't think I have any bluffs. No bluffs.
All right, then I'm going to move all of my agents to the site to investigate. This is criminal investigation 4 or more. Manners has 1, Tillman has 2 for 3, and then Clyde Bruckman has 2. So 5 all day.
Let's see. Are any of them keyword FBI? I'm giving something away.
Strangely, no.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that's a dead card this game.
No, they're law and independent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got nothing.
Not planned, but a happy accident on that one. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so do make the skill check, and I ask a method question. Is your method violence?
Let's find out. But I know my X file, and I don't think. Oh, yeah, it is violence. Wow.
All right.
That is okay. Well, whoever designed this game was off their rocker.
Yeah, who shuffled these cards? Who did that?
Yeah, if I squint, I can kind of see it. Wow, that was a good guess.
Good guess. I've been lucky like that before, and it hasn't played out, so we'll see what happens.
Let's hope. So that probably puts me at something, probably have like 10 right off the bat here.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask, is your X-File brother Martin?
So, oh, that's a penalty question. No, it is not.
Okay.
And I get to ask was it a method question?
Yes.
Boy, you're going right for the throat right away. Wow. My goodness. How about I do it right back to you? Is your method violence?
Is it? It it is.
It is. Oh wow. Okay. Now that's funny. Dude, that was a costly identity guess.
Yeah, that sucked.
Holy cow.
But at least we're back on even ground.
We're not actually. I think I'm a question up on you right now.
Well, that's true. That's true. Because you asked about Alien.
Yeah. So let's see what we're looking at here. I'm going to get high off this permanent marker smell. There's a lot of crossing off going on here.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to ask. We have 2 viewers on the channel, so I'm curious who they might be. I'm asking for a roll call. Go ahead and give us a comment to see who you are. If you have a question about what's going on tonight, or a particular card you want to call out as your personal favorite, anything like that.
Well, it looks like I'm at 10-2. So actually tie game because none of the Alien X-Files were had method violence. So
Brother Martin did.
oh, did he?
That's why
I
I
just
asked
can't
if
see
you're
it. Oh yeah,
Martin.
that's true. That's true. So okay. Well, that was like a Mike Tyson's punch out round there. I have 5 cards in hand.
Okay, I'm going to just very quickly clean up here. I had 9, so I have to discard 2. One is adversary Scott Garrett, and the other is the Kalasari.
Sure. Okay. All good?
Ready for you to start your investigation.
All right, I will draw one. Generate res, we get +1 from Munch, so it's going to be 7. And I'm going to use that to draw. Let's see. I'll draw 4. I'll make it 5.
Why
Go
not?
down to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to you, my friend.
Hmm.
Colden's going to get his token back too.
Nothing to sell. And I'm going to keep my points, so go right ahead.
All right.
I'm most likely going to pronounce this wrong, but my roll call has gotten one brave person. Stephen, your buddy, Yost Burns, our buddy from Scandinavia up there.
So I'm gonna healing, no requisition.
Well, Stephen is waving his hand, so before we go any further,
Sure.
let's see what's going on here.
I also wanted to let you know, Jonathan Hagee is also watching. However, he says he can't. Let me see what he said. He can't post. He's not able to post comments, I guess. So I just told him if he has a question, he can, send it to me and I'll read it off for the group. But we do have 2 people in attendance.
That's 2 more than I've ever had live. So
I'm not sure that's true, but yeah. But thank you, gentlemen, both of you, for tuning in. And as I've said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them, and we'll address it, as a group.
hey,
Stephen,
who's the
while you're
host here?
as long as we've got you here, now David has completed a criminal investigation site. Does
Well
desk
done.
jockey get discarded?
That's right.
Okay. Doesn't say that on the card.
Yeah, but
Its effect ends,
it says
but-
the card
okay.
is in effect until it's such and such time. I mean, I guess if there, I'll check the completed image. If there's room, I suppose we can just put discard this card at
Yeah.
the end.
I'd like to keep it in the field just for fun.
Okay, just
to remind
the-
him that
I was gonna say
Munch
the
is a
image has
desk
Scully
jockey.
on it, looking all pretty and all that. So it's like, yeah, it's a nice card. I wouldn't mind having just sitting around. It's like eye candy and all that.
it's more of a taunt David kind of thing,
Mm.
really.
So you can call Detective Munch paper bitch. right?
Yep. Nothing but a desk jockey over there.
Well, David, I also have to say, well done. Even though you said it wasn't intentional, but having your team consist of absolutely no FBI keyword agents just rendered that no trespassing card useless for this game. Hey, I know you said it wasn't intentional, but bravo on that.
Oh,
Yeah, guess what's going to get discarded this turn?
I totally planned that. I totally planned it.
I mean, it's really hard. Like, really, it's really uncommon, to say the least, to have a team that has no keyword FBI agents. The vast majority of them are keyword FBI. So that's even more incredible that you did not intend for it to be that way.
Yeah. No FBI. I got the Scooby Gang going on here. All independents.
Nice. And yeah,
Nice.
there's a few new additions to the independent roster as of this set. So yeah, I mean there's more possibilities for that.
Right on. Stephen, who is the gentleman that's in the camp post?
Oh, Jonathan Hagee, he's in the Facebook group. But yeah, and I believe he's viewed a previous one, and I believe he told me that same thing, that he's not able to post a comment in the live broadcast. Now I know I've had some issues too, where I have to like kind of use 2 devices or something when I'm watching like one of Mike and Matt's live events. I have to like have the live broadcast open on my laptop and then have my phone up to the YouTube channel so that I can post the comments, some weird stuff like that. But I haven't had to since their last live event, so I forget the workaround for that.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes. And please, yes, throw any questions or comments you have at us.
Let's rock and roll. So case assignment, I'm going to use Colton's token. So that's a criminal investigation or bureaucracy card that he can help finance. And then I'm going to pay 1 to play the abandoned bus terminal. As a criminal investigation 4 and affiliation site. Normally costs 2, only costs 1 because of Colton. And then I'm also going to pay 1 to play the Flight 549 crash site, which is a bureaucracy or evidence collection site and a motive or result question.
You should totally ask that motive question.
I wonder if it's violence. Oh no, it actually. So I know method. So actually, both are fair game, right? Wait, what are you getting at? Now you're freaking me out, David. You're freaking me out.
You successfully guessed my method.
Yeah. This is a motive or result site.
A motive. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, your head.
You were sending me loopy there. Like, what's he got in his hand? It's gonna change the question.
trying to psych
Hey,
you
that's
out.
actually hey, file this one in the memory banks. You could do like an event card that changes the characteristic question the opponent must ask. So if they're going to ask a motive question, it could change it to an affiliation question or something like that.
That was something they already know.
Yeah, potentially.
So it's to me for bluffs. Not quite the right time. I'm going to have to risk it. No bluffs.
No bluffs. Still sitting on an injured relative, though, which you could play for 5. Still sitting on Scott Osselhoff, I think. Okay. Well, now you're throwing me for a little bit of a loop here, David. I expected the injured relative to go down as a bluff, but well, that's fine. I'll make you pay full cost for it. So I'm going to form some new teams here. We're going to go we're going to go Hosteen, Colton, and Hudak to the abandoned bus terminal, and we're going to go Munch and Henderson to the Flight 549 crash site. And I'm going to get 1 resource point back for Hudak investigating a mono site. And we'll do that one first. It's criminal investigation and affiliation.
Criminal investigation. And who's at that site again?
So it's Hosteen, who has no criminal investigation, Colton, who has 2, and Hudak, who has 2. So we're just going to squeak by, if you'll allow it. If you'll allow it.
If I will allow. I'm going to play Old Man Nichols, adversary.
Could you read his keywords to me?
Keywords are adversary, primordial, phenomena, and creature. Activators are conspiracy and sciences. If this adversary is played on a keyword sciences witness, the witness is negated and removed from the game. That doesn't apply.
Hold on, is his keyword or his activator sciences?
Yes.
Well, that's going to be a problem for you, isn't it?
I thought that just applied if there was a sciences witness. Does it mean there has to be like a sciences? I'm going to ask Stephen here. I'm going to pull him in.
Is there a sciences witness in play?
No.
That you need. Well, okay. There needs to be an activator of sciences either at the site or a witness. Something with the keyword sciences, David, in order to play that.
The look on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, got to remember those activators. Unfortunately, we never got beyond to the later editions, which would have eliminated activators. But because we are not in that reality, David, you must therefore abide by the activators.
Wait a minute.
Although I was getting really excited to see Nicholas being played, I was like, I was like, wait, it did not occur to me there was a sciences site in play right now.
All right.
So I do have a sciences witness.
Ooh, but now you know.
Now.
Should I play it at the site just so we can see Old Man Nichols in action?
I say do it.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you came packing with some healing cards, maybe Father McHugh specifically, because he can heal in the field.
Let me
No,
ask: Is Old Man Nichols a killer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm nah. I'm just kidding.
You
Nichols is-
you said
he's not a
put
killer.
anything in the deck.
I did.
he's not.
But
a
that doesn't
killer.
mean I have to enable it.
No, that's true. Yeah, it would not be good to lose one of your guys.
Old Man Nichols isn't a killer, though.
He is a killer. Yes.
It doesn't
that
say
was
killer on the
It was
card.
a little change.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me.
I did update the spreadsheet like for agents and adversaries like earlier this week, so no excuse, David.
Can't keep reprinting these every week.
I know, right? Let me go dig up Nichols and see what he says. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
your
I'll
agent's
play
stuck in
him.
place until he's healed. A keyword healing card is played on him, so it has to be a card that's capable of healing an agent in the field. And there are.
I have those
there
in
are
here.
some,
I have
and-
Father McHugh.
Yeah, Father McHugh is one, and there's I think one or two other possibilities. I mean, one of them is depending upon your agent also having the keyword cancer, but nevertheless, there's possibilities in there. White Buffalo. Well, you don't have White Buffalo because you only have season 4 cards, but yeah.
So Nichols would die, but he would freeze one of my agents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd lose the side switch. Yeah, it was a good thought exercise, but
Mm-hmm.
no.
It's all right. No, it's all right. You get cold feet. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotta have that activator. So we'll reset, David.
Try
You're
again.
back at.
Yeah, I say David gets to. Yeah. I mean, it's up to you, Nathan, if you want him to dial it back. Yeah, because he has no activator.
No, of course he can dial it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Because it's friendly. It's playtesting, but it's still a friendly game, despite the fact that there are killer cards lurking in at least one of the 2 decks here. We're keeping it.
Oh, mine
simple.
has killer too. Mine has killer.
You have killer too, but we're
I got a
keeping it simple.
spontaneous combustion and a chupacabra. We got fun stuff.
Oh, Chupacabra. That would be sweet to see that one played.
Yeah.
No, it
So.
wouldn't. That would be.
Unless you're the one playing it, David.
All right, guys. Gonna send
All
you
right.
back.
All right, back to the game.
Foiled again.
So, Crim Investigation Affiliation.
All right, have fun.
All right, so we're at affiliation question. I think the big one out there yet is evolutionary. Is your affiliation evolutionary?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We are going to cruise through this playtest, huh?
Maybe have time for 2.
Maybe. I'll get out one of my mixed decks, Premier and Truth. All right, so that's done, and then we're at the Flight 549 crash site with Munch and Henderson. So this is going to be a evidence collection check, and they are currently sitting at the 5 that they would need for that. And that was a motive or result site.
I got to stop this bleeding here. How many agents are at that site? 2?
Just 2, yeah.
All right, I'll pay full price for this bluff. Injured relative, force one opposing agent, my choice to go to the hospital immediately, undamaged.
Probably want Munch for the res, huh?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And that cost me 5.
We're going to fail out on the crash site.
Crash site.
I'm going to have some discard to do. So actually, before the turn ends, during the briefing, I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, and play Bitter Defeat. It's an event resource. It's going to sit around with 2 tokens on it. I can remove the tokens to double the cost of any government adversary you play. And I still have 1 extra card. It's going to be the no trespassing that sees the discard pile.
Oh,
Yeah. Pretty useless.
all right. Well, I only had 6, so no discard.
Send it over to you.
Very good. I'll start with my free card. Generate res, which is 1, 2, 3. I'll buy 12, and then I'll turn over to you.
I'm going to discard 2 cards, 3 cards. I'm going to discard Dr. Vitaliano. And discard the well-manicured man's vendetta and post-mortem. I know I'd really like to get that vendetta in play, but I got a witness problem, you see. So that's going to be a total of 7 going into my conspiracy pool. And I think I'm going to yeah, I'll pay 1 to draw 1. And over to you, my friend.
All right. No healing, so we'll move on from that. And no requisition and deployment. I'm going to bring Detective Munch out to the field.
Hello, friend.
And then I'm going to go to case assignment and play Hotel James Monroe in Boston, Massachusetts. This is a game effect, or excuse me, the prerequisite is observation 4. The question is affiliation. Stephen is puzzled, so I'm going to bring him in here.
So, are we still working with the outdated cards, David?
I told you I can't print these every week,
All
man.
right. Well, this is one that we corrected a while ago. But yeah. What was that again? Was it observation or computer?
Well, the keyword is computer, but the prerequisite is observation.
That one got me last week too.
Yeah, it did. But again, we fixed that one a while ago. It's intended to be computer, but like I said, if you get for the sake of the playtest, if you guys want to proceed with as it stands, fine. But yeah, it's supposed to be computer though, as the keyword and prerequisite.
Oh, I got nothing for that.
Just like handwrite it over there. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's what I did.
Cheap, and you don't spare the ink.
I have no problem if you want to play that site as is, David.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I'd rather the game progress than stall out because you don't have a site.
All right then. Thank you, Stephen. I'll send you to the back. Guillaume, always nice to see you.
So you said it was observation and what was the question?
Affiliation.
Okay. Random question, but how many cards are in your hand?
Hmm. Seven.
I'll play one bluff on that.
Okay. I'm going to bring Clyde Bruckman, Detective Manners, and Detective Munch to the site to investigate. Let's see that bluff.
What is their total observation?
Yes, of course. Munch brings 3, Manners brings 2, and Clyde Bruckman brings 3.
That's a lot of observation.
8. I'm pretty observant.
That's an overwhelming amount of observation. All right, so the bluff is Skincognito.
Oh,
Play to force the investigating player to discard all keyword computer or evidence collection cards in their hand. And I will pay for it. So it's going to be normally 5, it's going to be 4 played as a bluff.
well. Now, do I need to show you, or do you just trust me, or how does that play?
Well, you don't have to show me your hand. If you have anything with those keywords, it's got to be discarded, and I get to see it that.
I do not have any with,
Oh,
which is why if that site was keyword, it would have been immediately sold next round.
oh. Okay, ask away.
Is your affiliation evolutionary?
Yes, it is. Wouldn't it be funny if we had the same X file?
That would be awesome. Well, I've got you down to 4. I think you're at the same or close.
Yeah, we should be both at 4, I think.
All right. Well, that having been said, we'll move to debriefing. I have 7 cards in my hand, so no discard.
I'm sitting on 4 cards.
All right, then I'll turn to you to start your turn.
All right, draw 1. We're going to generate res, so it's going to be, what, 4 this turn, I think? 5 this turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. Put me at 9, and I think I'll draw 4. I'll draw 4. Send it on over to you.
All right. Going to sell Lieutenant Terry Wilmer for 4.
Terry
Wilmer adds 1 to one team's alien investigation skill check once during your turn. You may discard this resource during your opponent's turn to play the alien bounty hunter adversary at no cost, activator requirements permitting.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful card design. Since that alien bounty hunter is never worth his price.
I'm not going to make any purchases, so back to you.
Okay. So I'm going to, hold on, let me pull up the screen again here. I'm going to make the most of Am I? Don't have any. Well, I don't have any healing requisition. Think. Yeah, I'm gonna make the most of. Oh no, I can't even use it. Everyone, the defibrillator is a hospital equip card, but you gotta have a medical skill of 1 or more on the agent you equip it to, and that's where I strike out with Munch. So no requisition, and deployment will get Munch back to the field. Yeah. And then case assignment, I'm going to pay 2 to play the Federal Command Center. It's a subterfuge 4 and up and result site.
Got 1 bluff to play on that one.
Okay. Send the farm.
All in?
All in. So subterfuge 4, I have subterfuge 5. 3 off Munch and 2 off Albert Hosteen.
All right. A true bluff. It was just alien experimentation.
Oh.
I got
Okay.
nothing to stop you. Oh, wait a second.
Maybe you do?
Maybe I do. I'm sorry, this is bureaucracy or observation?
It's subterfuge.
Subterfuge. I knew it
End
was one
result.
of those.
I know they all blend together on some
And you've
level.
got 5.
Yes,
And
5
you
for a 4 skill check.
Okay. Well, I am going to play desk jockey. Who is it that has the best subterfuge on your team?
Wait, that's got to be played on an agent that's already in the bureau.
Oh God! These cards
Yeah.
are killing me.
So you get Sorensen and McGrath are the 2 that send them back to the bureau. Desk jockey just keeps them there.
Okay, Stephen, we're going to make a change to this card on the phone. He says no. He's not.
In-game change.
He's not doing it. All right, and then I got nothing. Go for it.
All right. So, well, fortunately for you, I have 1 of each. I have a manipulation result, an abduction result, a physiological result, and a death result left. So let's see. Is your result abduction?
It is not.
Okay. And then I'm going to take a crack at your X file and ask, is your X file Leonard?
Worst playtest ever.
Wow.
Yes, it's Leonard.
Wow. Didn't even get to burn John Munch's token there.
No, I was going to play Clyde Bruckman. I should have played that earlier in the game, but I did not. I don't usually play him, so I just didn't even think about it until right now.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were just saving Brookman's token for a rainy day. I'm like, that one's going to get you at least through a round, perhaps.
Remind me what his token does?
It removes a card from the game.
in my hand from the game, or
Yeah.
Place
Yeah.
one
You get
token
to
on this
see-
card.
Go ahead, David.
Remove one token to examine an opponent's hand and remove one of their cards from the game.
And
oh
it could
yeah,
be any card. It could be a RP card. It could be a conspiracy card. Doesn't say which one.
well in your case you probably would have wanted to get rid of the site, huh? So I couldn't investigate anything.
Kind of depend. I mean, it kind of depends what's in the hand. If like, if you're sitting on all RP cards and maybe you don't have a conspiracy card that's going to really make the round come to an abrupt close, then it's.
I had the conspiracy cards.
Yeah.
Ooh, Peacock Brothers. We got Senator Swords.
Those are some heavy hitter cards right there, David. But yeah, no, Brookman's Token would have come in handy had you had a chance to use it. But yeah, you had to go with Leonard, huh?
So what did we accomplish on this playtest?
Characteristics, but Nathan, Jonathan had a question, and I actually blanked on it. He was wanting to know the names of the apps we're using. David, obviously, you use the Lotus app, but Nathan, what's yours called?
This is MTG Life.
Magic the Gathering. Okay.
Yep. And so you can actually label your fields at the top, which is kind of handy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so I have to say that during the game, I was tracking each of your progress using Yosis. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. So I was using his website to cross off each of your guys' checklist. So super useful.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
That's really going to cut down on the mistakes. I definitely want to use it. I'm going to have to. Well, granted, whenever I play, I have 3 devices going on at any given time. So I'll have to maybe figure out a way to do that. Maybe I'll just have a separate tab open on my laptop because, I want to do that because I have messed up, and you guys know, at minimum 3 games I have messed up on the checklist. And so I'd like to eliminate that possibility if at all possible. So I'm going to be using that check. There you go.
I do really like the way that the what I call the redacted X-Files sheet looks at the end of these games. Just it's beautiful. It really is.
Yeah. Because down to the last question, you guys had you had 4 possibilities each, and they were the same.
The same ones. Yeah.
So I'm really wondering, David, Nathan, who is your X-File?
Yeah, me too.
So
is it possible it's Leonard?
No, my X-File was Eve.
Oh, Eve. Okay.
Yeah. So I know it was. I figured that we did have the same 4 at the end, and I'm like, boy, wouldn't it be something if we picked the same X-File?
I'm sure that's happened. Granted, not in any of the games that I've played or that I've observed playing, but I'll wager it's happened at some point, probably more than once.
David, did you choose Leonard at random?
Yes. Yeah. I just pulled it out of the box.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I would never. I don't know if I would never. I mean, maybe at some point. Never say never. Leonard would be probably the one I'd least inclined, unless I just really want to go and get against the grain and assume that my opponent knows me. My opponent's like you guys. You play enough games with me to kind of get a sense of like maybe tend to avoid those X-Files with the more obvious or characteristics like evolutionary and death and whatnot. But then again, never say never.
No.
So well done. So I guess this playtest really didn't yield any quirks, huh? Did they?
No, it really didn't.
Well,
just the desk jockey thing, but that's really a minor point.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's like not every card says discard it, but granted, the vast majority of them do. But I mean, if room permitting.
I do have a question about desk jockey. Actually, so desk jockey, it was played on Munch, correct? If I remember correctly.
Yep. Who was in the bureau?
Yeah. So while desk jockey was played on Munch, could David still have used Munch's game effect token to negate a penalty question?
It doesn't say that they can't contribute their sites. They can still generate res and everything. It's just they're stuck in the bureau and can't contribute. They can't go out to the field, contribute to sites and all that. So yeah, I mean, the whole point is that they're still working, but they're just prevented from going out into the field and helping out the field team.
You could also
It's not
attack
like
them with a
one of
phone.
those like Sorensen cards where it's like, oh, you're stuck in the bureau, you can't do anything until such and such. It's just the
I think
agents. Yeah.
Sorensen is also just the skills, though, isn't that right?
Sorry, what?
Sorensen, it also just prevents you from using your skills, correct?
Right, in that in the example, I mean, res still can be done.
And game effect also then.
Let me flip to that one. I thought it says
Sorensen,
contribute their skills are effect. Let me.
It says the agent may not leave the bureau, requisition equipment, or contribute their skills.
Yeah.
So as I read that, you can still do res with him.
Yeah.
You can still use game effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think so. McGrath is priced at 5, right?
Yeah.
Unless you play him face down, but yeah.
And what is his game text again? I think all he says is just move him to the bureau, right?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yep. The agent may not contribute to any skill checks this turn.
Yeah. So yeah, so you can still use your game token with him too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there are any cards that actually prevent you from using your game effect.
Maybe there should be.
Well, I mean,
there is the mailman which can allow you to remove the game effect, but there aren't actually cards that says, okay, the agent, as long as this card is in play, the agent cannot use his game effect.
Well, Old Man Nichols says cannot contribute their skills and effects, but yeah, I mean, in those situations, like, yes, the agent is completely frozen. He's a human icicle. He's not doing anything to help the team. 0. But yeah, there's a few, but not very many at all.
Well, David, I don't know. I'm on the fence about whether I'd be up for another game. Just knowing that the next game could take 3 hours.
Possibly. It's like you have one short game and then the next one goes crazy long. Yeah, no, I don't know if I would be up for it because I don't know I'm going to have to get up early. Even though my daughter was up late tonight, she's still going to get up really early. I'm just going to need to help out. I did have one change that I'm going to make to one of my event cards because I realize it's over the price. Oh, it feels overpriced to me, and I'm trying to remember what my logic was. Tricks of the Trade. We have not played that card or it has not come up in any of the play tests up until this point. It's the one that allows you to show this card to your opponent to retrieve all keyword resource cards from your discard pile, shuffle them back into your bureau deck, and discard this card. So it's basically like, because this deck is so heavy in resource cards, and there's a possibility, a few of them get discarded when you have adversaries like the gray-haired man that forces any witness resource cards in play to be discarded and whatnot. So I wanted to have that option available to maybe go and get some of those resource cards back so you could shuffle them into your deck. It's kind of one of those cards that, kind of have the long game in mind. But it currently costs 4, and I'm thinking that might be a bit overpriced because if you're shuffling, you're shuffling back into your deck. The chance you may not get to play them, could be, and you're likely going to be playing this card maybe closer to the end of the game when a number of those cards have been sent to the discard pile. So I'm thinking it might not be worth the current cost. Maybe drop it down to like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, alternately, it's good CP fodder, and that might have been part of my decision. It's like, well, if I don't use it, I can still sell it for CP. So I think that's probably why I left it at 4. But what do you guys say?
Maybe 3 could be good because, as you said, you mostly want to play it at the end of the game.
But you're shuffling it back into the deck, so you may not even get any of the cards that you shuffled back in there. Even though your deck might be a little slim. I mean, depending on the size of your deck, you might, if you're getting low in the cards, if you're working with like maybe a 60, 70 card deck, maybe.
You're bringing me around to 2.
Okay. But 4 does 4 in at this point you read it as like 4 does seem like a bit much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, it feels like as I'm and again, I was thinking like, oh, this would be a good card to sell if I don't want to, but maybe people might be disinclined to use it, and you guys haven't used it, so
I think that's why I never used it.
it feels expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that you've called attention to the card, why does it say show your opponent this card?
Oh, because I think the text was inspired by there's a 1013 event called Visit from the First Elder, and I believe that's where I got the idea for the text. Let me pull out that card. But yeah, it is not a typical one. I mean, it's like, normally we just say play this card. But yep, that's exactly it. So Visit from the First Elder from the 1013 set. Show your opponent this card to retrieve all conspiracy cards from your discard pile and shuffle them back in your deck. I basically took the same text, but I just replaced conspiracy with resource.
And there's a reason that's for, because it's conspiracy. It's all of your conspiracy
all
cards.
Conspiracy cards. Where in this case, it's just resource, keyword resource only cards, which are decidedly fewer in any given deck, really.
Well, I can't really argue with the wording, given that it's based on an existing card, but that just seems weird. Because when you play the card, you're obviously going to show it to them.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, there's a lot of there's some bloopers in the 1013 edition. Maybe that was one that just kind of went over the eyes of the reviewers, because it probably just didn't even register when they were going through pages and pages of cards to review.
Right.
So what did we decide for tricks of the trade?
Yeah, cost.
I think it's going to be 2.
2?
I'm good with 2. I don't. Everybody. Where did Guillaume go? Did he?
He disappeared.
I'm good with 2.
2.
Yeah, sorry. Cholera just jumped on my lap and it just.
I did see a scale earlier.
So.
And David, I think this is the first game your cat hasn't jumped on the table while you were in the middle of the game. That's a rarity.
She's sleeping in the other room.
All right. So, I'll add that to the list of changes to be made once Dax gets the last of the event cards out of the way.
So it's 2 then, correct?
Yeah, 2. No objection from anyone?
No.
All right. Because, if anyone's going to be playing that card, it's going to be me, because I just wanted a reason to get, to kind of keep some of my favorite resource cards in the game.
Yeah, I think that's a good cost in light of First Elder. First Elder could read potentially shuffle half your deck, or shuffle half your discard pile back into your deck. It's pretty solid.
Yeah,
and you know what? If we do go with this idea of like having mill cards, putting cards in your discard pile and shuffling them back, if we do go that route of having it mean something, First Elder could actually see some play. So,
yes, and this card too.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's true. Which almost might. Yeah, but only if you have that stipulation in place. That's like maybe the cost of the card is appropriate, but only under those conditions.
Right. So I'm good with 2. I think.
Okay, 2 it is. All right. Changing that on the spreadsheet. So, So maybe you guys are more inclined to use it now that it's not as costly. But I know I'll play it more one way or the other, because I love my resource cards. All right, so
it's just I have your expansion inspires me in so many different ways.
Well, good, because you're
for deck building.
Write the season 5 one, so we need the inspiration, all the muse we can get.
But I just want to build so many different decks with these cards. Like there's a lot of potential things that I haven't even experimented with yet.
Endless possibilities, and we're making them even more endless by doing this.
Yeah, I'd love to do it. It's just I don't have the time to put together a different deck every week. And
that's what I do. But then that's why I was asking, like, hey, can someone stand in for me, because I had 4 games slated for this week, and I'm like, even though I build a new deck every time I play, I don't think I could do 4 games in 5 days, even though the first one got postponed at the last minute, but still, yeah. I was like, even I might be pressed for time, much as I love devoting as much time as I can to this game.
I think what's good is that in the original cards, I think Alien Investigation was really, favored. There were a lot of cards which could help you during those investigations, but with the Season 4 expansion, you could, be helped during your investigation using other skills like science, medical. So that's one of the great advantage of those expansions. And Stephen, I had a question about Bitter Defeat.
Yes.
Something that came up, something I thought about. So basically, it allows you to double the cost of any government adversary. So my question is, do you need to have that card in play before your opponent plays a government adversary? Or if
I would think if they've already paid for the adversary, I think it would be weird to have them go back and tack on the costs.
But the card doesn't say, so should it be specified on the card that it can only be played before the adversary?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Sorry. Rereading this. Okay. Let me read it out loud. Place in your field section with 2 tokens on this card. Remove a token to double the cost of any one government adversary played by your opponent. So sorry, it is a card. It's one that's already in play. My bad. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Played by your opponent, past tense. So yeah. If your opponent is unable to pay the augmented cost, the adversary is discarded. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. I was misremembering it as,
So my reading was, Guillaume, like if they play Scott Osselhoff, I could play Bitter Defeat in response to that.
Yeah.
Remove a token, and then they would have to pay whatever obscene amount Scott Osselhoff cost.
Yeah, you're right, Guy. I'm sorry about that. I just was thinking, and I think if you look at the Scully set cards, there might be some vaguely similar effect, something about doubling the cost.
Yeah, there is something like that, but since we never used those cards, and I considered using Bitter Defeat during one of my previous decks, so but I wasn't sure if I could do that, if I had to pay it before, or if I could just wait until government adversary was played. So that's good to know.
Yeah, so currently in play, and this card is only for government adversary, so I mean it's possible we could do other cards that increase the cost of, adversaries of the other persuasions if we feel so inclined.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to, you mentioned the Scully set cards.
Yeah, there's might be some vaguely similar cards.
Yeah.
Do something along those same lines.
There are still events that we have seen.
I was gonna say, don't say any specific names.
No, I
know
that there are some events that have been unreleased, but on some of the cards that were previously available, in bad quality, I think there is some that are similar to that effect. And I wonder if on the unreleased cards, if there aren't any.
Yeah, now that you mention that, do I need to
like that one?
All right. Just tell me the episode if you find one. Because for the gentleman watching, we want to avoid repeating the exact same effect of any existing cards. We want to use effects that are original or variation on a theme, but not something that's basically the exact same effect as an existing card. It's like, why bother making a new card to repeat an old effect?
Not only that, but then you can cheat and have 4 cards.
Okay, yeah, I found one for evolutionary. It's not quite. There's some similar. Yeah, there's some.
Steven, I think you have to look at 731.
Yeah, I found the one. Yeah, I was looking at Too Shy. Now, okay, let me go to 731.
While you're looking that up, Jonathan has a comment.
Here it is.
Asked if anyone had a favorite card from season 4. Jonathan likes Paper Heart.
Yeah. Is it Yost? He's not in the Facebook group, so he's only seen the agents.
Do you have
bear with me, Guillaume. Oh gosh, yeah, it is actually very similar. it's not, the text isn't the same, but the effect, yeah. 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 It pretty much is, isn't it? Yeah. For while it's not verbatim, it pretty much, it is pretty much the same effect. So I might have to rethink that card.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems warranted. Yeah, because there were a handful of the Scully set events that weren't previously available to us, and so now that some of them are coming to light, it may complicate some of the cards we've written. So, yeah.
Which card is that?
We're the Scully set.
No, the season 4.
Bitter Defeat, which I believe you had played or were going.
No, I did play it. Yeah,
you did play it. Yeah. So yeah, there's a Scully set card that that we have recently learned that basically is that effect. So maybe we'll have to brainstorm this one for.
Is this one in your spreadsheet or not?
It is in the spreadsheet, yeah, and I'll make sure it's up to date too for you guys, because I'm sorry I only had time to get the agents and the adversaries because there was a lot.
No, I meant on the Scully set on your spreadsheet.
It is there, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, latest number 12, and you're still finding new things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing that's been on my list is to go and do like a deep dive on the Scully set, and because I'll be honest, I'm not even sure clearly of everything that's in there, and I just haven't had time to do it yet.
Yeah. So I'll have to do some looking at that card. Come up with something. We'll come up with something else for that. All right. So I'll note that, but obviously I won't set. I mean, maybe we can come up with something for it before our next playtest. So maybe we can get some printouts of it and at least maybe get a chance to put it to work.
What is that card based on? Like the episode?
The episode in question is from 731. But if you read the cards, and I have them listed in episode order in the spreadsheet, so if you just go down to events and then 731, you'll see it. Like I said, the text isn't exactly the same, but the effects, the mechanics, they're all there. And maybe it could have been there was one for like a different characteristic, like an evolutionary that was up on the Facebook group, and so I
think that's the one that I had seen that one in bad quality version a few years ago, so I think that's one of those that were somehow leaked, but it didn't occur to me before we just mentioned it that the effect was similar. So we've never played those quality cards, so we're not as familiar with them as
we're not, but we'll soon be. It's getting closer and closer to being released in its entirety, which is exciting. So hopefully, there'll be many of us who acquire set, because then that way, we get a chance to play with those cards, with a lot of people. So let's put our thinking caps on, and I'm going to try to do that. Maybe come up with an alternate effect for the card. I'll probably try to make it as simplistic as possible too, if I can, so that, maybe, we might be able to avoid any issues with it. Simpler the better, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll think about that. Well, I'm glad. All right, we got something. We got something now to take away from this playtest, which is good. So, all right. I mean, it's not a quirk per se. The effect is sound, but it's just we don't want to repeat what has already been done. So, yeah. All right. So, any other cards jump out at you guys, either from playtesting or reviewing?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to look at my notes, but I think that was it. Yeah, no.
All right.
No, I think that's all the notes that I had.
Nathan, any new season 5 cards come to the old noodle in the last week? If you feel like
I
sharing.
did.
Yeah.
I did put, I think, a couple on the spreadsheet. So I was watching the end. Do you want me to give this away? Do you want me to give this away right now?
Yeah, go for it. I don't feel like we need to keep it as close to the vest. It's like we got people interested in these cards. I mean, I think we can be a little more transparent than, some a neighboring channel, perhaps.
All right. So I want to. This is still draft form, obviously.
Yeah, obviously everything's draft at this point.
Yeah, but I really just love the scene where, if you recall, the guy that tried to kill the conspiracy member that tried to kill Gibson Praise.
Yes. Yeah, the shooter.
They wind up catching him, and he goes to jail, right? And he's handed the pack of Morley, the Morley wrapper,
which is the first one says you're a dead man or you're dead or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the one I was thinking of for this. I think the second one is blank, right before he shoots.
Yeah, it's a toy. Yeah,
which is actually, maybe we could do something playing off the two things. Something to keep in mind. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to capture this idea of eliminating a resource for both the conspiracy player and the active player.
Okay.
And so the idea for the card is just negate one dual cost. Do we have a name for that cost? The purple cost card?
It's PP is the abbreviation for it,
right?
Like RPCPPP, but I think that's just because it's purple. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what it stands for. But I think it's purple.
Purple, yeah.
Purple play. I don't know.
We'll call it purple.
It's never been said in the manual what it means.
So it's got. So I called the card "A Warning from Old Smoky."
I like it.
It's a 4-cost conspiracy card. Keywords: event, negate, and government. Conspiracy activator. Game text is just negate one purple icon card.
I like it. That's good.
Flavor text is, I've been handed a note. Now I'm handing it to you.
And yeah, I like it. I like it. And so maybe the image can be like a shot of the card that says you're dead or something.
That's what I had in mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, that's the big one that I was thinking of. I don't think there are many purple cards that people play with, but
oh yeah, a lot of them promos.
I know I've played the French promo card, and I'll spare you all the.
That's. Do you want me to do it? I was going to say I've actually gotten pretty good at pronouncing it. Je vois quelque chose là-dessus.
Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. Taking a bow.
I will not attempt it. But anyway, yes, I have played that one before.
I love it. It's my favorite promo next to Blue Plate because it specifically caters to my alien investigation deck. So it's, again, another one of those cards I would not be without.
Yeah.
And, maybe we should do that for, like, some of the other cards for, like, occult investigation. Wait, is there already one for that?
For what?
Like basically the same text as that card, but for occult and occult investigation.
Oh.
Is there not one? What about the German card? Is that not? No, that's for adversary. No, it's for adversary.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the German promo does on it.
From Die Hand Verletz. So if there's not, then I think that's an idea right there. And yeah, I might have to file that one away because there's some occult episodes in season 5 that we can maybe pull from for that one. So yeah, there we go.
Sure.
Another idea.
Very good. Well,
yeah, gotta get some more writing in. I mean, granted, we don't have a time frame on completing season 5. I mean, I'm fine taking my time. I want to get through another rewatch like you're doing, Nathan, so maybe I'll feel more inspired mean,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, season 4 is just because it's one of my top 3 favorite seasons. It's just, that my memory of the episodes and the events and the scenes and all that is more well refined than it is with season 5. So the cards came even more naturally to me when I was writing season 4, and less so now.
We're for sure going back to season 4 too in a future mini expansion. I think.
Yes, we are.
There's so much there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be revisiting. I know you said we're going to revisiting like the early seasons, but hey, if we got season 4, if we come up with season 4 ideas, I'd say we chuck them into that expansion as well.
I was just playing with the idea of a black oil expansion where it's just a very small 20 cards or something like that, but they're focused on the black oil episodes.
Okay.
I don't know. Did you guys ever have the DVD sets, the mythology DVD?
I do.
Sets?
I still have them.
Yeah, check those out. I still have them too, but they collate all of the episodes in a particular mythology arc. So there's there's super
Abduction
soldiers.
is the first one.
Yeah, Abduction. There's Black Oil, super soldiers, and I forget the other one.
Colonization. ABCS
right.
is how I remember it because that's the order. Abduction, Black Oil, Colonization, super soldiers.
Yeah, but they were pretty good because you can just go and stream basically right through all the mythology episodes from that particular arc. And,
yep.
And speaking of extensions, David, as I'm looking for cards for season 6, I'm also trying to include scenes which could be used for the crime scene, Field Office Crime Lab extension. Anytime there are scenes where they are processing evidence or they are interrogating witnesses, I'm trying to put the scenes, taking screen captures of those scenes, even if I'm not using them right away. But I know that for the future, at least, those scenes will be on my mind if we need to find scenes to create cards for that expansion. So that's good.
Yeah. And it may be that we have to do a separate expansion for the Field Office Crime Lab for whenever that comes to, but ideally we should be able to hopefully marry those cards in with the current ones.
Yeah. And I think that will be also a good opportunity to revisit earlier seasons because there are many scenes from those seasons which could be used for the Field Office Crime Lab.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
David, you looked like you were going to say something.
Well, I thought it was funny. Steven said that we should think about making a mini expansion for the Field Office Crime Lab. I thought that's what I was working on. So
well, it's not just an expansion at the added section of the table, but the card, the cards would have some designation specific to that. I guess that is basically what we're doing. With that, aren't we? It's not I guess partly in my, because we have currently cards even with the commercially released cards that say such and this agent has access to the Field Office Crime Lab. It's not just going to be like those, but it's not going to be like the evidence cards. Is that what they're called?
You're talking about the ones that have the requirements for processing and witnesses.
Yes, is that evidence?
I don't remember.
Ongoing investigation.
Sorry, David. It's been a bit. So I'm blanking on the exact your name for that.
It's ongoing investigation, yes.
Okay. But I guess that would constitute an expansion. I don't remember if you actually use that term.
Yeah, mini expansion. Less than
okay.
90
All right.
cards.
Mini expansion. All right. Cool. Yep. So for those if our viewers are still listening, we do have an idea in the works for the Field Office Crime Lab that was dropped on a couple of equipment cards in Premiere / Truth Is Out There, specifically the gas chromatograph and the electron emission microscope. That was never completely explored by those at Next Games, and whether they had plans for them, we do not know. That remains an X-file in and of itself to this day.
And so David has some really great ideas about what to do with that particular expansion. So I think that's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool concept. The idea of creating a secondary class of investigation that requires these. And what I also like about it is there's very little that exists right now that makes use of the special or standard designations on equipment, or even there. I think there's even a mechanical, right, and electrical
Yep.
keywords and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I think electrical, for example, on the DPO, the adversary card, it specifically says that you have to discard every electrical equipment that you have. But you're correct, Nathan. Like there is nothing really done about standard versus special, and
Yeah.
I can't even think about what the logic is behind some of those keywords, like how they were given to each card. Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. It's just random.
We have to maybe come up with some sort of maybe we look at it hard enough, we might maybe come up with some sort of way to allocate that special versus standard, because I'm lost on that one. I mean, but we learn stuff all the time. And Guillaume, what was it you and I just realized fairly recently about certain keywords? You remember? Neutral.
Yeah, there are only like four neutral agents.
But do you guys know that? Do you guys realize there's only 4 neutral agents, but I only realized that the 4 agents that have the keyword neutral were ones that had at one time or another in the course of the series had dipped their toes into the conspiracy side of things. Krychek, Blevins, help me out. Who are the other 2?
Skinner also has neutral.
And Skinner's had to toe the line for the conspirators, like in Zero Sum, for instance.
And I
the 4th was
Patterson.
Bill Patterson. Oh yeah, definitely Bill Patterson. If anyone has has gone over to the dark side. So all the agents that have have worked for the bad guys or have done an antagonist specifically have the keyword neutral. Although it's just a weird term, like a weird keyword to assign. That it only recently did I realize that's what the idea was behind that.
I would like to point out that in the proposed U.S. Attorney Lamus,
neutral,
he is also neutral.
Boom. maybe that's where what prompted the conversation recently. There was something. Oh no, it was Dax had neutral for the Darius Michaud card from the Fight the Future, which definitely a.
It works.
Foot in both sides of the line there. So that's what the key Guillaume and I both recently realized about that keyword and what it meant. So I don't know, maybe we can figure out what they were thinking with standard and special.
Well, in my mind, it was equipment that is standard issue for all FBI agents is what they used, and then anything that is not like 9mm Glock or whatever it's the special designation. But I haven't actually looked to see if that's how they consistently use it.
The shotgun from Shapes
is that standard? That makes sense. I think actually most, like if you have a government issued vehicle, you probably have a shotgun in the back of it. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. I only have a select few in front of me. But the knife from Dihan Diverletz is also standard. Yeah, I don't think that's that's probably a little less standard. But no, it's what your notion there is you can apply that to the majority of the equipment cards from Premier and Truth Is Out there. So right. That's about the best explanation that we have at this point. They dropped a bit of that for the there's not many cards in the 1013 that use the standard special. Queequeg obviously is special, but a lot of the other ones don't have that. Like Tulux Video Camera doesn't have either. So I think they dropped it by and large for the 1013. Maybe they didn't even know what they were doing with that one.
I always wanted to do a special piece of
David
equipment.
Guillaume's in the green room. Sorry, Nathan. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I always wanted to
No,
do
thank
a
you.
special piece of equipment for the Mulder's ankle holster from the. I think that's from Nisi, right?
A few up. Nisei was where he first brought attention to it, but then in Paper Hearts,
Also,
yeah, because he used that
Okay.
weapon to kill Roche. So yeah, no,
I know he's like, I get sick of losing my gun, and I just
Yes.
love it.
so that can be part of the revisiting because yeah, I mean we could either use Paper Hearts, but Nisei I kind of like that more because yeah, that's when he first drew attention to that. And in even goes like, well, no, season 8, John Doggett finds Mulder's ankle holster in The Gift that was used to shoot the Soul Eater. But yeah, I want that. I can't believe I forgot about that for Paper Hearts. So that's good.
You could do it to like break the rule that you can only have one. You can only have one equipment, right? That modifies closer long range. You could use that holster to break that rule and say you can equip like 2 long range combat cards or something.
I am a fan. I am a fan. Absolutely, that's great. That's write that one down. That is for sure gold.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, and so yeah, inspiration coming in the post chat. So some stuff to look forward to. All right, so I guess next Saturday.
Before we wrap it up,
Yeah.
Getting back to that field office crime lab, there were some concerns about layering and having special costs for the equipment, like standard was 2 and special was 3, and how that was a little confusing. What if with the expansion, a lot of games come with like a card that's a cheat sheet that has that. Even on the back of the X-Files booklet, it's got the phase turns. You could have a little cheat card sitting next to the section that could remind you of those layered effects, so you don't have to try and remember them every time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And yes, you don't need an actual manual, but you just have your card next to you. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that will work.
I could get down.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a single page, I mean, I can get behind. I'm not a fan of like a full blown manual. I mean, I'm getting used to that idea. I mean, we're gonna have to adopt it for this. I don't see a way around that. But if it's like, we have a page, like a matter of having a single page printout on hand to refer to during the course of the game.
Maybe just you're just talking about a card size thing, right? That you just
because then if it's just the size of a standard card, I mean, we could even just send that, like, have that can just be, either Dax or Guillaume can just, make that easily. That would be easy to do.
No, yeah,
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as the logistics work out, like we still haven't tested this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're not even close to testing or anything.
But I think that would probably go a long way towards resolving my concern about, okay, this is getting really complicated now, and it's not just what you see on the face of the card, it's all this other stuff.
Well, I hear you, having rules that are just kind of out there in the ether that contradict what's on the card it would be a little too much.
Do we want to maybe think about like a certain order? Because I don't like in which we want to bring about these expansions. Like, I know like Guillaume has already written season 7 and is now just getting about maybe a third of
I think I've done 10 episodes, the first 10 episodes, but it's just a very, very first draft in the sense that, for instance, I like to have a cohesive mechanic for witnesses or for bluffs. So as of right now, I'm just trying to write everything that I can think of. I already have 100 cards, and I'm only 10 episodes in. So basically, a lot of things will be removed, but I'm just like throwing everything I'm thinking of, and then once I'm done, I will try to refine it before showing that first draft to you guys. And of course, any idea that you have, I know Steven, like you really want to,
Yeah, I want to look at Field Trip with you
Uh,
for sure.
and
I
any
want that
episode
episode to
that
have
you guys want to
do
contribute. It's
justice.
just, as you guys are working on season 5, I'm thinking I might go ahead and start thinking about season 6, and then, of course, once season 5 is done, then we can all contribute to season 6, and then go back to season 7 based on what we will have done in season 5 and 6. But at least the episodes would have been worked on for the draft. It will make it maybe easier to work on those episodes.
That's what I was asking. Is like, do we want to maybe like do like a rough outline or schedule or rough plan of like, okay, we're gonna, work on the seasons in this order. I mean, we can write like collectively, like Guillaume's writing his like season 6, and Nathan and I are doing 5. But I'm talking about when we get to the point when we're like, okay, playtesting, one season at a time. Obviously, that's what I was asking. Do we want to have a schedule for, and then we can slot the Field Office Crime Lab in between one of those?
Oh yeah.
As well as the
if you want, I can take
any mini expansion you have in mind, Nathan.
If you want, I can take a stab at putting together a rough schedule. I mean, just the way it's breaking down with. I mean, by the time we write the cards, revise them, play test them, have Dax do mock-ups of them. I think. Yeah, we're probably about at least 9 months, I would say, to go through all that. If the expansion is as big as these are, so 150 cards, that's just probably what we're looking at. Mm-hmm. For the smaller ones, we could do it in a lot quicker turnaround time. Sure. So,
and we can always just slot in between whatever season, because it's like, okay, this is looking like it's ready to go. So
right.
All right.
But I can put together just like a rough timeline for into next year, and I'm assuming you want to get this out in the wild, like November-ish.
What, season 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because at this point we are gonna maybe do. I mean, we can keep playtesting after next week. I don't know. I'm starting. I mean, but granted, it does seem like we're still finding some things. So I suppose we can continue on. What else are we gonna do on these Saturdays? I want to do something devoted to this. So if we're gonna keep playtesting even beyond this, I'm fine with that until we get to a point where it's like we can keep playtesting season 4 for a little longer if we think there's more there to possibly work out. Because we're obviously nowhere near playtesting season 5. So I mean, we gotta fill those Saturdays with something in the meantime.
Yeah.
I think we don't have every season 4 cards yet. I think until then we can still continue to playtest.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. But I'm gonna get in on the action next week. September 3rd, is that? I mean, I know it's the holiday weekend for some of us, so you guys don't do Labor Day over there, right?
No, we don't.
I didn't think so. But do you guys have Nathan, David? Do you know what next weekend's looking like for you guys?
Yeah, I'll be gone. And by gone, I mean like there's no internet. I'm going to the North Woods, so
okay. Watch out for Wendigos and whatnot. When you're saying north, like Canada, or
no, it might as well be. It's the border of Wisconsin and Michigan. The UP.
Michigan,
so,
yeah. All right, David, what's next weekend looking like?
I got no plans.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm down.
Oh, I got no Saturday. It's fine with me.
Okay. Because minimum of 3 of us for a play test, obviously. But if we think we're only going to be having 2 people, then we could just do a regular game at that point. But I'm free. I'm going to try to get the cards cut up, and that way I can play with them by Saturday. So we'll just have to figure out which of you 2 wants to be my opponent for that evening.
David, one last question. Do you want to do Field Office Crime Lab before we do season 5 stuff, or 7?
I think season 5 we've already got a bunch of stuff written.
Yeah, we've got about 100 cards. But
It's honestly not that much. I mean, we're
It's
still
still early, but
plenty
yeah.
of time to work on it. So
well, I'm nowhere close to anything, so
Okay.
definitely not before season 5. That's for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we are working on several things at the same time, because maybe like there will be a gap between season 4 and 5, but then season 5, 6, 7, the crime field office, they will be coming closer together. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if we have at least
maybe if Nathan wants to jump on one of his mini expansions in between, because I mean, some of us are going to be we're going to be playtesting a different expansion. I'm not dropping anything specific on this because this is recording. But maybe while that's going, Nathan, you might throw together an expansion, a mini one that we can work. Also, I mean, just saying.
Since I've recused myself from the.
Well, yes, as you have. Yeah, but if you change your mind, of course, by all means, get in on the action.
Yeah, I might do a playtest or two on those, but
feel free to. Yeah, there's some good cards in there.
Yeah,
some good ones.
For sure.
And I don't know if you're still watching, but if he is, maybe you can contact me on Facebook. I have a few suggestions about the checklist on his website.
Yeah, I think he's still with us. He messaged.
Here,
he said something like a minute ago. Yeah. So yeah, please.
Yeah.
And of course, well, he's not on Facebook. He's not on Facebook. So, but of course, if you, I could pass along his email to you. I'm sure he has no objection at all.
If you prefer to send my email to him, so just if he can contact me if he wants.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. There he is. Yeah, he's still here.
Cool.
Yeah, it is a great. I looked at the checklist too, but I was looking at the agent selector a bit. So yeah, that is a cool feature, and I'm going to be referring to that just for the sake of convenience, because I'm like, I'm tired of having to crunch the 20 RP as I'm doing this. I'm just check. Oh, I've exceeded it. I like that. It prevents you from adding beyond that count. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I can show you guys. Like, this is the boxes I have for for each time you're putting it in. Did you see that?
I got a sense of what it is. So yeah, we finally got something better to work with now, which is great.
Right.
And yeah, the checklist will be used during my games.
It's disappearing.
I keep coming.
Oh
my gosh,
those boxes.
Very old school.
You have to like ice down your hand every time you try to. I see your hand like is dipped in like ice water every time you put a team together.
Yeah, it's so frustratingly, and then it's like, of course, some agents have skills that others don't, so you're like missing them and going back, and it's a mess. So yes, thank you for this website. This is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's only in construction, so I'm sure he's gonna, he'll be adding more features to it as time goes on, and
I see that there is building, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
and our season 4 agents are up there as they currently are. So yeah, you can use that now with building your season 4, agent team now, which is great. And we can certainly do that with the future ones once we get those agents, which are at this point they're just text on paper with lots of possibilities for change coming up, because
so then on our website I plan on linking out to some of the other websites that have been built here with this. So like this tool in particular is super useful. We'll link that. I like I forget who made it, the very nice looking site with all the card images. Yeah. So we'll link that. Of course, Kevin Marion's stuff we'll link to.
A lot of like a resources tab.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah,
And
I like that there's more and more sites dedicated to this game cropping up, as there should be.
And way future board, and I mean way future board. I would like to put something together on Tabletop Simulator, so we could play virtually on Steam.
I know someone who did that. There is someone here in France who did that, and he scanned every card from every commercially released cards, and we actually played a few games using tabletops, and yeah, that was kind of fun. And I think the thing is that you can't unless we played it wrong. But since he created it, he could create his deck ahead of time. But when I joined, I had to create my deck before we played. So if he doesn't look away from the screen, he knows what I'm putting in my deck.
Mm.
So that's the only downside to it. But maybe there are some features that we didn't use and which could prevent that. But otherwise, it's great.
Yeah.
Although I do like the feeling of having the actual cards in my hand.
Bit
But-
old school, but then again, like say you're on the road, like Nathan is, and maybe like I assume. Well, and then again, this is going to require Wi-Fi, and you won't even have that. But I don't know if it's some. Yeah, so it's like there may be
Well,
situations
most people
where
have internet when they go on vacation.
yeah, so there could be some
This is
situations where you're traveling and you obviously you can't take the play mat and all the cards with you, but you have Wi-Fi capability, then yeah, hop on, play the game. I would be doing it in those situations for sure. But yeah, by and large, I'm old school, and I appreciate the feeling of the cards, and of course that 1996 smell, that still is with them.
Hmm.
So David, tomorrow
I'm
night,
usually-
you and I.
I just got to throw this in there.
Yes.
I'm typically all digital, especially at work. It's like as soon as you print a document, it's outdated because someone's changed their mind or something like that. And, my wife is a book reader, and I keep telling her, "You've got a Kindle. What are you doing?" She's like, we go somewhere and she brings like 5 books. I'm like,
Oh, Yo said something. He says, Nathan, please hold off on sharing the website just yet because it isn't hosted properly. Yeah, this is something way down the line. We were talking about doing a website dedicated to our expansions, and then of course maybe have some links to other resources. But we're nowhere near the prospect. This is probably a few years down the line. I'm no doubt your website will be well refined by that point. No worries. We'll keep the link to it just within our creative team if you want, if you prefer. Yeah, just the 4 of us you see here. Yeah.
So David, you're saying like there is something to like having the tactile feel of the cards, right? Or whatever you're reading. Yeah.
When I'm playing a game, I paid a lot of money for these things.
But the benefit of playing it virtually, though, is Nathan, as I know from watching you play the game, when you're like having to, I can't read the characteristic on there. Playing it virtually does address that, bit of sight issue with some of the smaller texts. So there's some benefits to it.
Yeah, I don't think it would take over our playing.
Very auxiliary
with the real cards. It would be like in addition to. You can also play it in this way.
Yeah.
And
For
frankly,
those who may be more digitally inclined, yeah.
Yeah, and people who don't have the collections that we have.
Or who don't want to print out.
Yes, that is good point. Yes, because obviously these cards are more expensive now than they have ever been before, and not everyone has the kind of cash funds available to acquire a set of these. So yes, all the more reason to have. Yeah, I'm totally on board for that, for the digital idea. But yeah, thankfully, like those of us here are fortunate to say that we've amassed a nice quantity of cards over the last 20 some odd years. And yeah, but like I said, if I'm traveling and I don't like to travel with these cards, I'm definitely playing virtually if I feel like I need to get my CCG on.
Yeah.
So David, tomorrow night you and I are squaring off with our sealed cards, our sealed decks and boosters. And if the voting holds as it is now, I will be squaring off with you with this here Premier starter deck.
I've been texting everybody that I know who's on Facebook and telling them to vote. So.
To vote Premier specifically.
Yeah, I changed my vote to Premier just because I want to.
Premier. Nice.
I want to see you burn.
Yeah, and I'm going to burn. If not, like I got a stroke of luck with Leon, but here's the thing: like I think those Truth is Out There starters kind of helped me along because those are actually a little better collated as well. Not just the boosters, the 2 Truth is Out There boosters I opened.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to be working with 2 Premier boosters, and heaven help me if like there's 10 X files in one of these 2. That I'm gonna be okay. I can't use this guy. I may not even have a 60 card deck.
Yeah.
That I'm playing with. I was like,
you almost have to do like 3 packs with Premier.
I know, right? I don't know. Like I'm not sure what I'm gonna do if I don't have a full 60 to work with tomorrow night. I might crack open another one, but then that's kind of I don't know. I feel like that's kind of going against the parameters that we set for these games. But
well, you don't want to cheat. You don't want to cheat.
No, I don't. But it's like so if I'm stuck with 50 cards, I guess I'm stuck. But yeah, because I cracked open like a couple boosters that I got in addition to these that appeared to not have like they had no silver lining on here. And Mike was like, "I'll wager money there's some ultra rares in there." And sure enough, there wasn't ultra rares, but there was like 10 X files in one of them. And I'm like, "Oh, this was worse than not having an ultra rare." So yeah, no, it's. It gave me pause as about, oh boy, if I hit that sort of bad luck with these 2 that I open tomorrow night, David, you may very well be, cruising for an easy win tomorrow night. Which you're overdue. You're due for a win, my friend.
We'll see. I am kind of a easy target. I'm not a very good player, so we'll see. I need every advantage.
Well, it's not. You have won a game, so you are not 0 for nothing or 0 for whatever. But yeah, you've won. Yost,
you had me down to 4 today, and
what's that?
I mean, I said you had me down to four X files today. We were on even ground until the last round.
I was very impressed. Very impressed, David. You played very well tonight. So
that was luck. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, you did get violence like right off the bat, yes, but then again, you still had to work hard to thwart, some of Nathan's investigation. So, Yost, if you are available tomorrow night, David is going to be cracking open a Truth is Out There starter. I'm going to crack open a Premier starter, along with 2 booster packs, and then whatever's in these cards, that's what we're playing with. That's it.
I'm seeing Yost's post here. He's voting Premier, so I think that's
Premier. Oh yeah, that counts as a vote. Yeah, there you go. So, and in fact, Yost, Guillaume and I did the same thing a few weeks ago, and surprisingly, I prevailed with the Truth is Out, with my Premier starter over the Truth is Out There. But again, I'm not sure that if I want to assign it as more than just a fluke, but I feel like if I prevail against David tomorrow night, then it's like maybe there's you can't rule them out altogether. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And if I do have a game 3 in the works with Mr. Dave Meyer, for which it'll be like even ground. Truth is Out There versus Truth is Out There starter. So that one's set.
Oh, everyone's winning tonight.
What's that? Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, somebody left. Otherwise, I'd show him off too.
The pets are off.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, join the fest at same time as this. I know. Sorry, Yost. It's very, very early where you are, but maybe by the time you wake up, Dave and I will probably still be playing.
Yost and I are in the same time zone actually, so that's good to have someone knowing what it's like to get up at 5 a.m. going easily.
Oh, but Marta in the Facebook group is also on the same. Yeah, she's in Spain, so yeah, so she misses a lot of these too. So David was saying like, yeah, Guillaume, you and Marta should like square off in a game because at least you guys have the same times, or Yost for instance, you shouldn't play a game with any of us. Yost, if you want to throw down with any of us, please, we're sure we'd be happy to go against some more players. We got another comment, David. That one's directed at you.
Yeah, that's my wife wondering what the hell I'm doing up so late.
Oh yeah. There you go. So yes, if anyone's interested in playing the game, with any of us, by all means, just let us know. Put a comment in David's channel or mine. Just saying like, hey, you guys want to play? We're always looking to go up against some other players who might have different strategies. I learned just last night, how to do a tournament style deck. So, that's the beauty part about playing against other players who might have different approaches to the game, because, there are a lot of these cards open the door to many, many possibilities. And with these expansions, we're casting an even wider door.
That having been said, I need to get going.
Likewise, David, I will see you tomorrow night. Bring your A game, but at the very least, bring your Truth is Out There starter.
I'll bring my Truth is Out There game. That's right.
I'm gonna get that link posted early, because now lately we've been having to have the admins approve the posts, so I don't want there to be a delay. So I'll try to get that post up fairly early tomorrow, so people know where they're going. People can, granted, they can find my channel, but still, I'll get that link on the group tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So hopefully I see Nathan. Are you going to be there? Or are you traveling?
Tomorrow night is date night for my wife and I. It's our anniversary, 6 years.
Oh, happy anniversary!
Oh, congrats!
Thank you.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, if not,
that.
then we'll definitely see you whenever you get back from your travels up north.
Yeah, I'll be around until next Thursday, I think. So.
Okay. Very cool.
Well, Nathan, if she loves you, she'll respect your love for the game.
That is very true. She's going to pick up
CCG is his mistress.
She's going to pick up a new car tomorrow too. So I think I'm entitled to a little bit of leeway here. So
yeah, a little R&R.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, it should be a good game. I suspect it will be. If my game with Guillaume was any indication.
All right, fellas. Well, I hope I see you tomorrow.
Yes. All right. Good game, guys.
Have a good night.
We'll see you for playtesting next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
All right.